Hello everyone. Good afternoon. I know today is Sunday, even though we all are here to spend your valuable time for learning. So, really, I appreciate your spirit because you are the true leaders of education. Thank you very much for joining. So, today's webinar is on Let's Talk Together, and Mr. Shankar Degdeotulwar sir from Varora. He is the facilitator of today's webinar. Let me introduce first. He is a teacher at Iralal Loya Vidyalaya Varora. He has worked as a trainer and textbook writer as well. He has a lot of experience of conducting training programs and various workshops as well. So thank you very much, Shankar sir, for joining us. And really, we are pleased to have you. So over to you. I request to you, please start your session. Okay. Please unmute yourself before starting the session. I'm going to share your screen.
Okay, thank you, Kalpana ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And I welcome all to this Let's Talk Together webinar. I'm Shankar Degdeotulwar. I hope I am audible to one and all.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. So once again, I welcome you all to this webinar. Friends, as the title suggests, we are going to talk about improving speaking skill among teachers. Because unless teachers are able to speak well, I firmly believe that students will never learn to speak English in the classrooms and outside the classrooms. So, friends, let me introduce myself again. I am Shankar Degdeotulwar. I work at Varora, Hirala Loya High School, and I have been teaching English for the last 30 years. Uh, I love to learn many things about English language on a daily basis, and that's why I am from actually a non-Marathi medium background, but still I developed love and liking for English language, all because of friends, all because of trying newer things. So, friends, let me thank Diet Chandrapur for giving us this wonderful opportunity to deliberate uh, on things that related to talking English. Let me also thank Mr. Gangadhar Wadle sir, the subject head, the principal, Mr. Vilas Patil sir, and of course Kalpana Bansod madam for giving us an opportunity to think about English language and the speaking skills. So friends, as you all know, English is an important language of the world. You are all aware of the advantages of being able to speak good English. Yes, you heard it right. I said good English. And that is the problem. That is the question where some solutions are sought. So it is, but I don't think it is really that difficult to be able to speak English. Then there is a question: why are we not, or why are many of us not able to speak English properly? People say that they lack confidence, they lack a good conducive atmosphere for teaching and learning English. They also say that there are many students are from vernacular mediums, and so they have to resort to using Marathi in the classrooms. But all these are all I think all these are excuses. Where there is a will, there is a way. I firmly believe in that maxim. So the friends, though there are problems, these problems can be overcome, and English language can be improved. People tend to actually people tend to worry about the mistakes that they make while speaking English. But I think no one should be afraid of making mistakes, because mistakes are part and parcel of any learning process. I said any learning process. So English cannot be an exception to that. So actually, language learning should become a habit. It is said that language is made of habits, and therefore we will need to look at mistakes with a positive frame of mind. And I look at mistakes with a different point of view. I have always thought that making mistakes means you are trying to learn something. Actually, making mistakes means you are willing to take the necessary steps in the right direction. And that's why let mistakes be not be the stumbling stones in the path of learning English. And I always say, remember, language is learned. It is not a born activity. Language needs so many efforts to master it. So it's not a born activity. Language is learned through a process of imitation and practice. It is also a known fact that all cannot learn any language with the same pace, with the same speed. Different people learn languages with uh, different pace, different speed. So we need to understand that we make mistakes when we speak our mother tongue as well. So most of the time we excuse, or we pardon the mistakes that we make in or we overlook the mistakes that we make in our mother tongue. But the moment someone makes any mistakes while speaking English language, we are we just point out those mistakes and discourage the speaker. So let that not happen. As far as language learning is considered, mistakes are part and parcel of any language learning process. So friends, we should be ready to accept incorrect language also initially, because initially you make so many mistakes while learning our mother tongue. Also we have made a number of mistakes. Okay, we do not understand why baba ale, why kaka ale, and why bhau ala. This is the problem with different languages. So language learning is actually a complex process. We have all been through that process, and that's why uh, let mistakes be not the barriers in the process of acquiring English language skills. I'm quite confident that by attending such webinars and other things, we will be better users of the English language. I personally feel that English is a very colorful and graceful language. Uh, I also feel that it is easy to grasp and practice. In fact, it is the learning, it is the language that should matter and not the grammar. Many people have so many things to say about grammar. Okay, English grammar is tricky. Everybody knows that. But the grammar that we learned in our mother tongue, it is not easy as well. So let's not make hue and cry about the complex nature of the English language. So it is the language that matters and not the grammar. So friends, let the speech, as far as language is concerned, speech, it is said that speech is the essence of language. Everybody wants to be a good speaker. Everybody wants to uh, do well in the spoken form of the language. So that's why spoken word gives you more joy. Spoken word makes you an enthusiastic user of the language. It adds wings to your imagination. When you are able to speak a language, any language, it adds different dimensions to your personality. So it is more than anything when you are able to speak English using English words. So that's why uh, as you know, learning a language or speaking, learning a language depends on the observance of procedure, practice and repetition, and the self-learning. One more important thing I would like to convey to you is that language is learned by use and not by rules. Okay, it's not uh, it's not an activity that can be done by following rules. Many men, people, many types of languages. Even a single situation can be described using different type of languages. Okay, so a language is learned by use and not by rules. And learning a language is a process of habit formation. So let's try to form good language learning habits. Let's speak English. Now, Kalpana, may I request you to show me the first slide?
Is it okay, sir?
No, everybody can speak. The other one.
Okay. This one?
No.
This one?
Yeah. Yeah. Please. So, friends, in this slide, you will see that language is learned. Actually, language is learned. Uh, you need deliberate efforts to learn a language. It does not come automatically. You need to be a good listener. You need to be a good observer. You need to practice a lot to learn a language. Then uh, observation, imitation, and practice are all are the ways that make you a good speaker. And unless you speak, unless you are able to speak, uh, you cannot teach others to speak. So it is imperative that if you want to teach others to speak, you must be able to speak. Unless you speak, you cannot teach others. You cannot uh, encourage others to speak English language. So, as teachers, we must be able to speak good English. We must be able to express ourselves using appropriate words, appropriate grammar, and appropriate form of the language. As far as grammar is concerned, I would like to draw your attention to the way you learnt your mother tongue. So, learning English and speaking English is not different from speaking your mother tongue. So, grammar, it comes. Form is not important, speech is important. Okay, you should be able to convey the meaning. So, there are different ways of convey the meaning. So, functional grammar is appropriate. You need not be knowing all the grammar of the world to be able to be a good speaker. I have come across so many people who haven't actually been students of any school. Still, they are very good speakers of English. Okay, let me tell you an example. When I a couple of years back, I visited Andhra Pradesh, and there was a rickshaw puller, and he was an excellent speaker of English. Out of curiosity, I just asked him, "What's your qualification?" He said, "No qualification. I have never been to school." Then uh, how did you speak? How did you learn to speak such good English? He said, "Life has taught me English." So it is out of necessity that he learned English, and same can be applicable to all of us, because speaking English is more necessary for us than any other persons. Okay, as teachers of English, we need to speak English, and that's why it's the most important aspect of our profession. I just told you about the speech, the essence of language. Speech is the most important thing because that gives you the joy, that gives you an edge over others. And practice, repetition, and self learning are the means by which you can acquire the language skills. uh, Learn by use and not by rules. So if you go by rules, rules will come in the way of language. Rules will do hurdles, and you will feel that okay, English is a very difficult language. The rules are important, but they are not that important initially. Uh, if you learn, I have seen number of people who can speak about English rules, but they are not able to speak anything about anything beyond that. So rules important, but language is more important. That is what I feel. Next, Kalpana. Next slide, please. Next one. No, no. Everybody can speak. Second slide. Yeah. So we all know that English is the language of the world. It's the language of literally everything nowadays. I will come to the next point. Advantages of speaking English. Speaking English has its own perks. It opens the door to many opportunities. If you are able to speak good English, you can achieve higher heights, you can achieve higher scales, you can be a global presenter, you can be an expert, and the most important point, as far as I am concerned, you will receive that amount of satisfaction of a job well done. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes.
What are
Hello.
the advantages of speaking? Okay, okay, oh, yeah, yeah, please. I would like to repeat those points. If you are able to speak good English, uh, speaking English has its own perks. It opens doors. It opens doors to many opportunities. You can be a global presenter. You can be an icon among the teachers. You can be an expert of English language, or the most important thing, that you can derive that satisfaction of a job well done on your own part. I think that is more important than all other things. So you should be satisfied with whatever you are doing, and that if you are able to speak good English, the satisfaction of being a good English teacher is more than anything else. There are also challenges in speaking English. Obviously, those challenges are not uh, that difficult to deal with. The first challenge is pronunciation. You know, English is different. Okay, the pronunciation is different. The vocabulary is different. Grammar is different. It is different from mother tongue, your mother tongue. The grammar is somewhat complex, somewhat confusing. Of course, I am talking about English grammar. There are variations of English. American people So Americans speak somewhat different language. British people somewhat different language. British people go on holidays. American people go on vacations. British people live in flats. American people live in apartments. In English, British English, the spelling is some of the spelling of some of the words is different. Different. For example, British people spell the word color as COLOUR. American people COLOR. Okay, there are a number of words that are different from British words. For a British person, it is a wardrobe. For an American person, it is a closet. American people have gas or gasoline, whereas British people have petrol. Okay, British people wear trousers, and American people wear pants. In British English, it is pavement, and in English, American English, it is sidewalk. And the height of all, British people say football, and American people say okay. Some people say that as far as American English is concerned, some people jokingly say that you don't speak English, you speak American. That's a joke. American people also speak English, but jokingly some people say that. Of course, most British people say that you speak American. American people speak. Okay. Next point is mistaking mother tongue and other tongue. Mistakes and part and parcel of any learning process. We tolerate mistakes made by a speaker in mother tongue. There are number of sentences that we speak in Marathi language or our mother tongue, but there are number of mistakes as well. So we tolerate those mistakes. But the moment a speaker in English makes a mistake, it is immediately pointed out. Oh, he said he does not know English. He did not say he does not know English. He said he don't know English. Actually, it doesn't matter that much. Okay, initially it doesn't matter that much because meaning is important. As I said, form is not that important. Uh, I think this is an important point. Language is a habit. Language actually it's a behavioral habit. Okay, we need to learn some aspects of a foreign language, particularly about the stress that we use in English language, the intonation patterns, the pronunciation system, the modulations of voice, etc. They're all a bit different from our mother tongue. The questions that we ask using WH words, the way we pronounce questions in our mother tongue, and the way they pronounce questions and the verbal questions using English, a bit different from the way we use. Then positivity or frame of mind is also a very important aspect of learning the language. What happens mostly when we make a mistake, we are discouraged, or we get disappointed. Oh, I'm trying this much, I'm trying this hard, but still I'm making mistakes. Doesn't mind. So positivity improves your work life and physical and mental health as well. So according to me, positivity or positive frame of mind gives you strength to overcome obstacles. So positivity is the thing that one must have, and you learn that it is okay to make mistakes. It is all because of positivity that you excuse your own mistakes and you excuse the others' mistakes as well. Because mistakes are part and parcel of. I'm again and again saying the same sentence. Mistakes and part and parcel of a learning process. Okay, and mistakes don't indicate that you're not learning. Okay, things may be difficult, Things may be daunting, things may be discouraging, but things can never be impossible. So this is the thing that you learn when you have positive frame of mind. Next, please. Kalpana, next. How to? Okay. Okay. Unless you are a good listener, you cannot be a good speaker. That is for sure. Uh,
Excuse me,
be a
sir.
good listener.
Hello, Shankar sir.
Yeah, please.
Excuse me. So your voice
Yes,
is
yes.
very low. So please,
Okay.
mic.
Adjust.
Yeah,
Yeah.
adjust your
Yes.
mic. Okay.
Okay.
And
Okay.
your
Okay.
voice is
Okay.
also breaking. That is why, please, I want to bring this thing in
Yeah.
notice.
Yeah. Try.
Okay, please start.
Am I audible now? Okay. So, friends, be a good listener. It's a very very important aspect of uh, being able to speak a good language. So, unless you are a good listener, you cannot be a good speaker. And what do we listen to? We listen to the way the language is spoken. We listen to the way the words are chosen and used. We listen to the sounds of the language. We listen to the way the users are using different techniques to speak a particular language. So listening gives you all these, and therefore, if you want to be a good speaker, you need to be a good listener. That is for sure. So uh, whenever possible, don't miss any opportunity to listen to good English. Now, as we are living in the age of technology, we have good opportunity to listen to English. Okay, audiobooks are just as welcome. I listen to a number of audiobooks. How can we improve English by joining English speaking groups? So English speaking groups, actually it is meant for speaking practice and development of your language. Different type of people, they make the speaking experience an interesting one. A number of people speak in a number of ways. So every person has his or her own language, is said. And joining English speaking groups will definitely enrich your experience of uh, becoming a good speaker. As far as teachers are concerned, I think this point is very very important. Use English in your classes. So actually, this is an opportunity for ourselves to groom ourselves well in speaking English. So unless we use English in our classrooms, we can't actually uh, be masters of English. So what does it mean? Using English in your classroom means consolidating your English skills. And this opportunity is available to you on a daily basis. Okay? You learn so many things by putting English to actually use. You test yourself. And therefore, um, it is also a confidence boosting activity. And the audience that sits before you looks up to you for a good model of English. So, friends, as far as possible, use English in your English classes. Don't translate everything into Marathi or any other language. Use English as far as possible because that gives you the strength, because that gives you uh, how to using an opportunity to use English in your day-to-day life, and it becomes language of the profession. So friends, it's a very good suggestion that you all must use English in our classes. And one more important point I would like to add: you come to know about your language ability, where you uh, what kind of language you are using, what needs to be done to improve your language, where you are falling short. All these things are most important, and therefore use English in your class. So the next point is I have already elaborated. Errors are part of learning process. Do not be afraid of errors. Look at errors with a different point of view. Errors are there because you are trying. Errors are there because you are trying to do something. Errors are there because you are trying to improve yourself. So errors are part and parcel of the learning process. We are habituated to thinking in Marathi language or in our mother tongue, which is quite different from each other now. For example, if we say, uh, we tend to say, "माझा तुमच्यावर विश्वास आहे." So we are not ready to drop that word, "वर." We tend to say, "I believe on you." Actually, it is not that way. Okay. So friends, if you think in English, English becomes uh, quite easier to speak and to yeah. So I have one task for you. Look at the task, okay? And you can write your views on in the chat box. Talk or write about what language is and what it means to learn a language. Please note down. Talk or write about how people learn and the language learning process. And the third task is, what does mastery of a language mean? Should I move on to the next, please? Kalpana?
This one, sir? Okay, sir. Degdeotulwar, sir. Okay.
Yeah. No, no. Second slide. That is, check what you aren't sure about. Check what. Yeah. No, no. Number 6, the earlier
Yes.
one.
Okay.
No. Yeah. So friends, this is also a good suggestion to check what you aren't sure about. So instead of assuming things, we should be quite sure that this is the way I should use a language in my classroom or in my daily life. About it, it may be a word, it may be a phrase, it may be uh, maybe an idiom. So uh, whenever you are using language, and when you are not sure about anything, please check it and get it corrected. You can consult your friends, you can consult your peers, you can consult your uh, friends in a group and get it checked. So let us make it a habit that unless I am sure about the word, the phrase, the idiom that I am going to use, I will not use it. Okay. Uh, Next one is using your own language in your own way. Okay. What does it mean? Everybody has his or her own language. All people don't speak. The same situation can be described in using different words, different language, different styles, different. Even people's imagination is different. The way people look at things is different. So everybody has his or her own language. So instead of copying others, try to be original. So that is what makes you a good speaker. Don't imitate others. Okay. Even in Marathi language, even in our own language, we try to be our own. That's why I said everybody has his or her own language. Because a choice, everybody has a choice of words. Uh, he has a choice of words, choice of grammar. Some people use familiar and simple language, simple words, familiar words, while some other people they don't want to use that simple language. Uh, have you heard Mr. Shashi Tharoor speaking? His language is out of the world, so different, so complex. Okay, so interesting to listen to. But how many people understand his language? That is the problem. Okay, so everybody has his own language. So use your own language in your own way, because that is what makes you stand out of others. Your language should can become your own identity, as Shashi Tharoor's language has become his own identity. So friends, as far as possible, use simple language because the purpose of using a language is to convey the message, and unless that message is conveyed properly, uh, language doesn't serve the purpose. Attend conferences, workshops, and seminars and webinars and MOOCs. Okay, Raw has given us a good opportunity to attend MOOCs. In the month of January, we attended INET conference at Hyderabad. It was a great experience altogether for all of us. I think 15 to 20 teachers, English teachers from Chandrapur district attended that INET conference. It was a great experience indeed. So attend conferences, workshops, seminars and webinars and polish your skills. Okay. It is possible that you will get a chance to present yourselves in such conferences and workshops and seminars and webinars. The next thing to improve your English is to maintain your own improvement journal or a diary. I don't know how many people do these things, but this is a very useful idea to to measure your uh, improvement on a daily basis. If you come across a word or a phrase or an idiom, try to use it in your own way. Okay, instead of uh, copying somebody, you can use sentences. You can write how you can use different words in different situations. So before speaking, you can try it in writing. You can keep a journal, you can keep a diary, how I used, suppose you write an interesting sentence, uh, you might forget it. So write it down, try to use different words in different contexts differently. So that will give you a confidence and that will make you a good user of English language. So using different words in different contexts, uh, that will give you a strength. And also, if you are not able to do those activities in a given time, try to write what you need to do to better your situation. That will also give you some idea about what needs to be done as far as your improvement is concerned. And write what you wish to achieve. So this can be, in other words, this can be goal setting. What write in your journal, in your diary, what you want to be, how you want to achieve that speaking goal in a week, or after a week, after a month, after 6 months, maybe after 3 months. So those things will keep you pushing forward to be a good speaker. Then there is one more thing I would like to share with you. Surprise yourself. Uh, we do not know what we are actually. Many of us don't know. Many of us don't have time to look at ourselves. So that is the problem. Okay. Uh, we claim that we know the world. We claim that we know the people around the world, but unfortunately, we do not know ourselves, and that's a great problem. So surprise yourself. How can you surprise yourself? I'm talking about using English. Surprise yourself. Surprise yourself by using a new word or a phrase that you come across. Surprise yourself by using a new structure. Surprise yourself by discussing things about English. I said about English. Okay. You can discuss things about English with your friends, with your peers, with your subordinates, with your superiors, anybody, and try to interpret words or articles differently. Just take an example. Uh, if you can keep your red roses as a poem, uh, every time you read that poem, you come to know something new thing, or something new about the same poem, or even a basketful of moonlight is a poem that gives you so many insights. Okay, every time you read it, you come across a new idea. You come to know a thing or two about uh, new things about the same poem. So surprise yourself by using all these techniques. And the, the, the most important thing that we don't do so often, do not forget to pat your own backs. That is also very important. Okay, that can also work as uh, motivation. So do not forget to put your own pat your own back. Next, please. Kalpana, next. Yeah. There is one more task for you. Talk about talk or write about what areas of speaking teachers have difficulties with. What are the areas you think are difficult to master or difficult teachers find difficult? Talk or write about why teachers might be reluctant to use English in the classroom. Actually, we are there to use those who don't use English in the classroom. They resort to translating everything into Marathi or any other language. Okay, they read in English and translate it into Marathi. What happens? The content is conveyed to the students, but the language gets killed. Okay, the skill of speaking is not developed. So content is not important, skill is more important. Being able to speak right, that is more important than the content. So uh, the third question is, do you think it is important for the teachers to use English in the classroom, and why? So think about these three questions, and do not forget to uh, put your opinions in the chat box. Next, please. Okay, try out some improvement tasks. Let's not be content with whatever we have gained. As far as language is concerned, as far as language learning is concerned, there is no end to improvement. Every day, every second, every minute, you learn something new. Okay, so these uh, bits of learning may come in routines. You can use activities, you can use games, you can use notes, you can solve some tasks and exercises. You can judge your progress and start again. So try out these things. Whenever you find some time, some free time, do not forget to try out these improvement tasks, because these tasks will make you a different teacher, a different person who could use English to an amazing uh, level of satisfaction. So there are a number of resources available in the market to make you a good speaker. Read good books on speaking skills. Uh, there are a number of online books from British Council, Oxford University Press, Cambridge University Press. I would like to mention one, two, or three books for you. Teaching speaking skills by British Council. It's an online book. You can read that book. They are also available online. Read those books and avail yourself and make you a better speaker. There are also some exercises in spoken English by IFLU Hyderabad, English. So English and foreign language universities. So all these are the resources that are available in the market. So explore them, use them, and try to be a good teacher, a better teacher. As far as speaking is concerned, if you want to enjoy the live experience of being a good speaker, videos are the most amazing resources we have with us. You can watch British Council videos on speaking. They are abundantly available on YouTube and other online. They are also available online. Be your own critic. Self-assessment is also a very important aspect of language teaching and language learning. So, be your own critic. If you are able to use a given word or a given phrase or a given idiom or a given bit of language amazingly or to your satisfaction, encourage yourself, pat your own back, and say that yes, I have done well, because that goes a long way. People will not come to encourage you day and night. You are there to encourage yourself, so do not forget to encourage yourself by patting your own back. Be your own lessons well is also very important. If you want to be a teacher of English, if you want to be effective teacher of English, you must plan your lessons well. What vocabulary you are going to use, what grammar you are going to use in the class, what tasks are you going to frame or devise for your students, and what language are you going to use in the classroom, so that you are benefited and your students are also benefited by that. So plan your lessons well. If you plan your lessons well, see, teaching anything is not easy. Okay, if you okay, uh, next please. Today is the last chapter is about and make a list of the resources to develop make a list of the resources to develop your speaking skills. There are a number of resources available in the market. Look for them, find them, read them, use them to become a good speaker and a good English teacher. Next, please. How many of you do peer observation? I don't know, but it's a very good thing to do in the classrooms and outside the classroom as well. Peer observation is very important to get feedback, uh, and for that we need to be open-minded. We need to accept good suggestions, and and uh, we need to be open-minded. We need to be positive. We need to accept good suggestions that will make us better speakers. And whenever comments come your way, don't get offended, because when you are engaging yourself and when your peers are observing you, there are some things that might not go your way. So they will get some uh, comments that may hurt you. So accept them wholeheartedly, because they are giving their time for you to make you a better speaker, to make you a good speaker. So peer observation helps in, a lot. Uh, I think I have already spoken about do not translate anything. If you are translating everything, you are uh, depriving your students of the joy of discovery, the joy of learning, the joy of being independent, the joy of the joy of uh, inventing things on their own. So teaching doesn't mean only just pumping the knowledge from this bin to that bin. So there is discovery, there is joy, there is satisfaction. Okay. So please do not translate everything into mother tongue. Let the and in a way, in other way, this also helps you to master the language and to use the language in fruitfully. If you translate everything, the day will not be far away when you can speak only Marathi, and whenever you open your mouth to speak English, you will hesitate. So use Marathi wherever possible, wherever is required, but do not translate everything into mother tongue, because uh, that will become uh, uh, a hurdle for you as well as your students. Now let's come to Form English Language Clubs. I have been a teacher for the last 30 years. In my school, we use different platforms to promote speaking. This year, we had spoken English and even what I can say, different. Actually, they were presented in cultural form, but the intention of organizing those programs was to promote speaking. So there were speeches, debates, okay. There were questions and answers and interviews, everything. So form English language clubs so that you also get benefited and be an active member of that club. forming English Okay, there is time. We will start in a minute. Tushar, am I audible?
You are audible. Sometimes your voice is breaking
Okay, okay,
actually.
Breaking, yes.
okay. I'll take care of that.
So, can I move to next slide?
An English conversation. Okay. This is a very good opportunity to use English language uh, outside your class. Okay, you can form English conversation groups with your colleagues, uh, with the science teachers who want to speak English, with the mathematics teachers, other teachers who also want to speak English. So you can be a guide, and other people can also be guides to you. So form English conversation groups at your own workplace, and finally, be a speaker. Okay, if you do all these things, I'm sure you will become a better speaker. So you can definitely be a speaker. Being a speaker mm, is amazing. The experience is amazing. The way you okay, the way you express yourselves with others, the way you convey your thoughts to others, it gives you joy, gives you satisfaction. And so being a speaker has so many dimensions to it. So whenever possible, try to use English language in your class, outside the class, even in your family, so so that you become a better English speaker. I have some other slides for you. So take mistakes positively. We have already spoken about it, discussed this. Practice every day. Practice is a must. Practice. People say practice makes one perfect. As far as language is concerned, practice is a must. Particular is using appropriate has always been a problem for us. So uh, now this is not that difficult if you keep on learning things or go on reading things. New things, these things will can be mastered. Find a friend who can speak good English. Okay, in the class, outside the classroom, this is a very useful trick to find a friend who can speak good English. So both or more than two can form a uh, group, and among them they can speak English. Don't worry about English grammar. Grammar is not the only important thing as far as language is concerned. There are so many other things that are equally important uh, as grammar. Next, please. So other ways there are all these things. I just want to mention. Read English newspapers, magazines, and articles. So as far as I am concerned, these English newspapers and magazines and articles, reading all these things have contributed immensely in the development of my own language. Okay. Uh, my mother tongue is Telugu. I teach in a Marathi medium school and I teach English. So all types of khichdis. So friends, uh, listen to news, listening to news on radio and TV. Do you listen to TV news in English or you turn off the TV? Please do listen to English news. There are join online speaking courses. If you really want to sharpen your English language skills, join online English speaking courses. They are abundantly available on the net. Note down the words, the new words, and use them regularly. If you want to build on your vocabulary, learn something new every day. Okay. How will you read new words and new phrases and use them? Unless you listen to good speakers, unless you read new things, you can't come across such words. So listening is important, reading is equally important. Note down the words and use them regularly. Be ready to take a test of your language skills. So, uh, whenever possible, appear uh, or just take some tests to test your English language skills. There are a number of online tests are there, MOOCs are there. So just try these things out. It will make you a good speaker. Please. Next. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I think we have covered that point as well. Set a goal, try to achieve the goal in a given period, and get help. I think this is the most important point. This is the important thing that we should take note of. Get help. Whenever you are in a difficult situation, consult someone who can help you. Okay. So asking for help is not a bad thing. Okay. Just put aside all your egos and all your feelings of self-importance. Step out of your house and wherever it is possible, go to that person and get help from books or online or other people, friends, and anybody. Okay. uh, it is important. We generally don't go and ask people for uh, certain things because we feel that this may show me in a poor light. Do not be disappointed. Things may take more time than you expected. Learning, as I told you earlier, all people cannot learn the same thing in a given point of time equally. Some people learn quick, some people take more time, some people take even more time. Okay, so but practice makes it possible for all of us. So time, more time can be taken to to reach that destination point. Now read the textbooks again with increased interest. So once you have achieved all these skills, good communication, increased interest, and you will find that there are so many things that you didn't know earlier. Okay, so friends, as far as possible, read the textbooks with increased interest, with a different point of view. Okay, uh, without ready-made notes, of course. Okay, and uh, something new will definitely come out of that activity, and you will be enriched. Try to frame some innovative activities for yourself so that you grow, you keep on growing every day, and you become good English teacher and an English speaker. Next, please. Okay, make a dictionary your friend. It is said whenever you are in a difficulty, consult a good dictionary. Whenever you are not in a difficulty, consult a good dictionary. Okay, consulting a dictionary or referring to a dictionary should be a habit. Okay, uh, joy, the satisfaction, the joy that comes out of referring to a dictionary when you find out a new shade of meaning of a word or a phrase, when you come to know that okay, I was using this word when you know all these things, it gives you joy. So make a dictionary your friend. Dictionary for a, for an English teacher, dictionary is a must. Okay, have has as many dictionaries as possible at your uh, at your at your home. There are a number of types of dictionaries. Okay, reverse dictionaries. Yeah. How about it was my habit. I used to tell myself, okay, but that that benefited me immensely. Whenever I am alone, I just go on talking to people, not speaking English. Okay, and anything is possible. Never say this is impossible. Things may be things may be difficult, maybe daunting, maybe, uh, but they can never be impossible. The impossible word says I am possible. If you put an apostrophe there, it becomes I am possible. So maintain interest and enthusiasm and love for English, and you will definitely be a good speaker, a good teacher, and so maintain your interest, enthusiasm, and love for English. That is a must. That is the most important thing as far as becoming an English teacher is. Okay, learning should never stop. Okay, interest should never go down. Enthusiasm must be maintained. If all these things are possible, you will be smoother.
Hello, hello, sir. Hello.
Hello, yeah, yeah,
Yes, sir. Please continue.
yeah.
Your voice is breaking. Please.
Okay, okay.
Hello. Am I audible to you, sir? Hello. I think he is facing some network surfing problem, so that is why he is not getting the network. Okay. So yes. Am I audible to you, sir?
Yes, you are audible. What about me?
Okay. So thank you very much, sir. Now we are moving to question and answer round. Okay. So one question is asked by
Okay.
Adoni sir, and he want to know
Mm.
more about that your point, that is surprising yourself. See, he wants actually
Okay.
more explanation about
You can
surprise yourself. Actually, I was also confused when I saw that point. So please explain more.
okay. What I wanted to say, most of the time, we do not know what we can do, what marvels we can do actually. Okay. We always underrate ourselves. So, Adori sir, thank you for asking the question. What I meant to say, surprising yourself is a good thing. We mostly underrate ourselves. We do not what we can do. As an English teacher, suppose you come across a word of a phrase or an idiom, you can use that word or a phrase or that idiom in your own sentence, and then you can check whether the given the word or the phrase that you have used is correct or not. Most of the time, teachers can do things in a better way. You can also use a new structure. So
I think he is facing network surfing issues. Okay. So thank you very much, all participants, for asking the question. Adoni sir, I think you can ask this question privately to Shankar sir as well. So there is no problem about that.
Okay, no,
So
no problem.
okay, okay. So thanks a lot for joining the meeting. Now I am going to end the meeting, but don't forget to
Thank
join.
you, Kalpana, for joining me. Thank
Thank
you.
you very much. Don't forget to join tomorrow, because tomorrow we are focusing on teaching and learning strategies after Corona. And the facilitator is Dr. Varsha Kulkarni from Gram Mangal. So Gram Mangal is well reputed NGO organization, NGO, and she is fabulous. And she is doctorate in constructivism. So she is going to tell us about the how to implement or how to change our strategies about that teaching and learning context. Okay, so I'll definitely send the link to all of you. So thanks a lot. Thanks for joining. Okay, bye.